Walking through tonight's game a little bit, there was a lot of energy there in the third.
Yeah, there was. I think for the last couple of weeks, our focus was too much of getting into the playoffs and for, really thinking too much ahead. And we just refocused tonight, and we've been on 5-game segments since Christmas time. And we just went back to saying, listen, this is game 3, and let's just take care of business. And when we do that, we know we're going to be in a good position. So, the guys were fantastic tonight.
First 2 periods, teams seemed to be feeling themselves out a little bit, but what do you think really kicked it into a different gear there in the third?
Well, you're right. In the first 2 periods, it was a passive style of play. Both teams were playing not to make a mistake. There was a couple big chances either way. In the third period, our guys came out, and I think Redding missed a real good chance off a rebound there, kind of on our bench side, and it was a wide open net. It was a bouncing puck. They missed that chance, then we end up, getting a lucky one off the wall and off a guy. But we've been stressed and put pucks in the net, and especially with a high octane offensive team like Redding, they can't defend a shot on net. And David Buchanan was lucky to bounce in after him, and that kind of set the tone. It gave us some confidence, and obviously they got to score 2 to get the win, and we knew 1 point got us in. So I think they just kind of gave the guys a little bit of, just eased their minds a little bit.
Absolutely. So what for you is the key now, focusing on the postseason and getting through a good long push in the postseason?
Yeah, really, you have to understand, to win a playoff series, you have to play 1 game over 500. To get in the playoffs, we're looking at a 5-game segment of 6 out of 10 points. So when you talk in terms like that, 1 point over 500 to get in the playoffs, to win a playoff round, 1 game over 500. You really have to think about what happened in the first game. Understand it, talk about it, and then park it and move on. And you need to have a short memory, and if we do that, we're going to be successful.
Few of your players in particular, I just would like some brief comments on. I know you're not playing with him right now, but Zach Fucali, how's he been for you in the crease this season?
Zach's been great. He's got so much energy. He loves the game. For how young Zach is, what's really impressed me of his off-ice habits and his practice habits. Truthfully, I'm on the bus with him a lot, and he sits up near the front, so I see what he eats, I see what he reads, I see what he listens to. And everything that he thinks about, is it going to get me to the National Hockey League? When his days off, and I'm a big believer in rest, and we're going to get in at 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, and we're going to be off Monday and Tuesday. Well, Zach wants to practice. Sunday and Monday. Zach wants to practice on Monday. And I try to explain to him that when you're 30 years old, you're going to appreciate these times. So, he'll go for recovery massage and treatment on his body and chiro, and make sure he gets a good fresh meal from Whole Foods and nothing processed. So, at 21 years old, it's amazing. When you think about that, when you think about probably the food choices and rest choices that we've all made in our lives at that age, we weren't doing those things. So, Zach believes he's going to get to the NHL, and it gives us all energy. It gives us all hope, and it's a dangerous thing when you have that. So we wish him all the best.
2 other players. How has Connor Crisp been for you this season, especially coming off of injury now that he's back down from the AHL, and Dalton Brewer back in your lineup again?
Yeah, Crispy, it's been tough. He hasn't played a lot of hockey in 3 years, and you see a guy, 3rd-round pick, big body, 3-year entry-level deal, and all of a sudden he's in year 3 and he's in the ECHL. So, let's be honest, right? You can't be happy about it, but right when he came in, we put him in an important role. We put him on our top line. We put him on our power play. We put him on our 5-on-3. We put him in situations where it mattered and made him feel important. And then the communication was there, saying that, listen, you're going to be a big part. And has there been some times when he's been off those units? Yeah, for sure. And he wasn't happy about it, but the communication from me to him was always there, and say, hey, listen, you're playing for our team. You're playing for the Montreal Canadiens. You're playing for the next team that's going to offer you a contract if it's not going to be in Montreal. So, he's really, this second time being sent down, he's really, really committed. And if you watch tonight, he's really committed to playing two-way hockey, winning hockey, grinding out hockey, and the kind of player he is and the body that he has to play that style. So he's been fantastic for us. As far as Dalton, second round pick, tough, captain, Memorial Cup, promising junior career, and thinking this could be an NHL defenseman one day, right? Again, just hasn't been an easy road for him in professional hockey. And one thing you don't realize is that every year when you're in the pro level, there's new guys. There's a new draft, and every year there's a new group of guys with three-year entry level deals. So it's tough on these guys. So Dalton concussed and just had a real tough start. But let me tell you, and I've told him, 2 or 3 times a week in the last month since he's been back, and he's exceeded my expectations. He's playing amazing. I'm so happy for him just to be, in games, and it couldn't have come at a better time for our team when, Matthew Gagnon went down as a concussion, and Dalton's like, I think I'm ready, and it kind of surprised us, because when you get to that point, you're unsure and you're a little bit, you're exercising some demons. You're not sure whether you can cross that line, and he has been absolutely fantastic for us. He's played on the edge. He's intimidated the other team, and as much as fighting is a way in the game, he makes sure that they're looking over their shoulder. So he's been he's moved the puck. He's been fantastic. I can't say enough about them.
Spot.
Yeah.
Any time in that last half hour when you thought, last year and now, how much better this is?
Yeah, you know what, our assistant coach, Peter Goulet, just said, we were out last year Christmas time, just after Christmas, and, we talked to each other and said, listen, we're not going to stop doing the work. We're going to prepare our special teams, our 5-on-5 play, our video, our practice plan. We're going to continue our same routine that we've done since day one. And, at the same time, I've had a lot of success personally and team-wise winning at the pro level. It's really my first time that I really got my butt kicked, and for lack of a better term. But you know what? I really sat back and watched a lot, and you find out a lot about people. You find out a lot about players when you're down your luck, and when you're out of money, when you're jobless, when you're losing a lot of games. You find out what kind of men, what kind of people they are. And we found out, and crazy enough, we brought back 10 players from that team last year. So you look at our team this year. Yeah, we had a lot of injuries and that kind of stuff, but it's no excuse of our record last year. But having said that, I'm glad that I went through. I'm thankful for the Rosen family, the Canadians that keep our affiliation. I'm thankful for the organization to give myself and this group a second chance. So I really believe we're on the climb right now, and we'll see where it goes.
You mentioned Thrower and Chris Hukali. Are there any other particular guys who really stand out? Do you think have really made a difference this season?
Brandon Marino, has led this league in scoring. He's led the Central Hockey League in scoring, and I had conversations with him saying, Brandon, when you led the Central Hockey League in scoring, I had 60 points and we won the championship, and you didn't make the playoffs. So how do you want to be remembered? And it's difficult as an offensive player because you take pride in your points, and that's how you earn your paycheck. And but at the end of the day, coaches, teams, players want winners. So he has done a fantastic job, just showing players how to do it the right way, and it stems from the top, your leadership. And if I'm not organized and making sure that delivery and presentation is proper, then I can't expect the captain to and everybody else to. And if he does it, the 10th forward or the 13th forward or the 7th or 8th defenseman, the pressure's on them to make sure that they do things the right way. And Brandon's been unbelievable. David McCann, a 40-goal season. When you look at him, we were really close to getting him last year, and we didn't get him. He ended up going to South Carolina. And, I believe he was top 10 in scoring, but only 20 goals. So we played a real aggressive style, heavy pinching defenseman, and it really has benefited his play. Really, you look at our team. There's been a ton of guys that have had great success. David Valerani, who his highest output year is 60 points. He's climbing at 80 points right now, 4th in the league in scoring. So, the other message is, listen, the team has to do well first, and when that happens, individuals will have success. And, from myself, from goaltenders to offensive players, from Jordan Henry breaking the Beast record of 16 goals as a defenseman, it goes all the way down the line, but it doesn't happen the other way around. The team has to have success first, and from there, individuals will take advantage of that.
And this team, obviously, you put it together. And the teams that you're going to play in the first or perhaps second round of the playoffs, you make it that far.
Yeah.
Based on what you know and all that stuff, you have a sense that this team has what it takes to keep playing into May and maybe into June?
I do, and I'll tell you the reason why. The tie always goes to the veteran, and we have a lot of real good veterans on this team that in the ECHL you don't see nowadays. Main reason is is because it's a real young development league. Where we're located in Brampton, in Ontario, you're right in the middle of a hockey hotbed. So, you get guys like David Valerani, David Pecan, Brandon McLean, Jordan Henry, that they live there. That's their home, and no different for me. I have pride when my in-laws and my parents and my sister and people like that come to the game. So it's our home, and for the first time in Beast history, we made the right choice on those guys. We made the choice on those veteran players that want to be there and take pride in playing in Brampton. So they've had a lot of experience. Won championships. Valerani winning the Kelly Cup, Brandon McLean winning the Kelly Cup, David Pecan going to Game 7 in the finals. So you can't put a price on experience. At the same time, our young guys are not young guys anymore. They understand what it takes. They've been through a season. They're not rookies anymore. They need to perform like veterans, and veterans need to do their job. And that's why I believe with solid goaltending, which we believe that we have, you need some puck luck, you need to be hot and all those sorts of things, but we have the pieces in place to make a run.